Hey, I'm Jamey from Stonemaier Games, and I am the designer of a game called Vantage that I've spent the last 8 years working on. Just today, I'm filming this on February 19th. Just today, I released a video showing 3 turns of Vantage, and it's 3 turns with me talking in detail about how the action system works in Vantage. But a few people commented, reasonably so, that because I completely avoided spoilers in that video, that they didn't really get a feel for how the game plays. And I've been really nervous about spoilers in this game because the game is all about exploring and discovering the 800 different locations on this planet and the 900 different cards that you can discover on this planet beyond just those locations. But one thing that I really want to embrace, and I hope that you embrace after you play Vantage, is that you are willing to share your adventures and your stories and your photos from your games with other people, how you discovered things, how you went about things. There's so much freedom in this game. I want you to have the freedom to express that in various forums, including the Vantage Facebook group and our Discord, everywhere. And so I thought, why don't I film a real gameplay video with spoilers? So big spoiler warning, I'm just going to play Vantage right now. I'm going to play a solo game, maybe not all the way through, maybe for 30, 45 minutes or so. I'm just going to play it and we'll see how it goes. We'll see when I post this. I don't know yet. And I might avoid, if I know many things about the world. I designed this whole world, but I can't remember everything. It's too much to remember. I might avoid doing some big things that I feel like would spoil big things for you. But for the most part, I'm just going to really actually play Vantage. And so nothing about this is staged. We're just going to try it and see how it goes. So let me flip the camera view a little bit. I'm not a professional playthrougher. I'm just playing this on my desk right now with my phone camera here. So I'm sorry if this isn't beautifully technologically oriented here, but hopefully you can get a feel for what's on my tabletop right now. All right, let's jump right in. So the first thing that you see in Vantage is right here. So, upside down. Right here. So everyone on the table, everyone is on a spaceship right now, or I'm on the spaceship with the crew. Step 1, weeks after receiving a mysterious signal from the traveler, your ship arrives in the orbit of an uncharted planet. Create the total challenge dice pool using 8 dice plus 2 per player. So that is what I have over here. This is the challenge dice pool. These are the challenge dice. There's a total of 10 dice there, 8 plus 2. I'm the 2. So we're done with that. Step 2, each player gains a different skill, select or randomize, and its matching character. So when you want to randomize a skill, you roll a skill dice. Let's see here. I have an orange die there. So I gain the skill. I gain a skill token. I'll keep these over here. So I have 1 engage skill. That's what that skill is called. And the character for it is 1437. So all this is going to be in real time. So I have the box over here. It's off. The box is off camera, but this is a box of all the cards. 1437. So I'm going to get this character. I'm going to put this character. Here's my character. I'll add this to. Here, I'll hold up this book. Put that in the middle of my card grid, and it says place the card in the middle of your grid and gain its when played or when placed benefit. So I get 2 boost. Boost represents knowledge, wisdom. It can also do some other things, but for the most part, it's knowledge or wisdom. You can see these silvery cubes. They're wooden cubes with a metallic silver paint. I put them on my character here. Okay, step 3, each player sets their own time, morale, and health trackers to one of the 4 difficulty levels. Each player chooses, and I would put all of my tokens at that level. So I'm playing the orange character, so I have the orange tokens here. So I'm going to choose 1 level. This is my difficulty level. If I can find the orange token here. Again, this isn't staged. So, here we go. It's in the bag. I was like, oh no, we're missing the orange token. Here's my health token. So I need to put these all on 1 level just for the sake of, so normally when I play solo, I like to play at the more difficult levels, 3 or 4. I think just so I don't happen to die right away on camera here, which can happen. It's unlikely to happen, but I don't really want it to happen. So I'm going to put it at 5, difficulty level 5 here. So this is the practical difficulty. And then last, the first player In the setup steps that we would go through in the rule book, which involves putting this board on the table, gaining one of these card holders, they say to choose a first player. It says to choose a first player. So, and I should mention that the components I'm playing with here are the final pre-production copy. They aren't the exactly final version of the game. They're pretty darn close, but not quite. Last thing, the first player, that's me, gains 2 skills at random. So let's roll these 2. So a purple and a yellow. So I'll gain these tokens, skill tokens over here, and places the matching mission, see this right sidebar, in the center. I can reroll pairs to get an easier mission. So the pairs up here, these missions are a little bit more difficult. This mission represents why we are coming to this planet in the first place. So let's do that. So I have missions. So purple and yellow are right here. Purple and yellow, 1595. I feel like I have played this mission recently. There are 21 different missions, 1595. Let's see what we got. Yeah, I have. I feel like I have played this one recently. So this is the Liberate Your Homeworld mission. This is why we came to this planet in the first place. Not necessarily to this planet. This planet is not our homeworld. So we are coming here to kind of essentially arm up before going back to our homeworld and liberating it. So the mission says have at least 3 cards plus 1 per player in grids and or reserves with an overpowered challenge dice slot, general or ability, or a before overpower ability. So these are different types of abilities and slots that we sell in cards. Currently, I only have 1 character card, and I do not have an overpower icon on it. So I need to get a total of 4 of these to accomplish this mission. So this is one of the ways that you can win the game. You complete this mission. I'll put that over there. Finally, everyone goes to location 001, which is on the back of the Book of Secrets. So I will go get that book. And here is the Book of Secrets right here. Here's the back of the Book of Secrets. So the ship malfunctions. This happens every time you play Vantage. The ship always malfunctions. You have mere seconds to escape. Each player gains a different skill, either select or randomize, and places the matching location in their location card holder. I'm going with random today. Nothing is preset. Nothing is predetermined. We are just going to find out what we get. Orange. So I get that skill, and I go to location 004. So this is the first time in the game, and for the rest of the game, where all players, in a solo game, it's just me, but all players, all crew members on the ship will be on different locations. So I'm going to find location 004, and here's what it looks like. So these locations from now on will go in this card holder, and your escape pod location will just stay there for the entire game. Not that you could actually see from the escape pod for the entire game, but because the back of the card is essentially blank. So other players can't see what's on the back of your location because all the location cards are double-sided. So here is my escape pod. So this is what I'm looking at as my escape pod is crashing on onto the planet. There are 6 different escape pods. They're all different. They're all crash landing onto different parts of the planet. We're all looking at different things, and there are different places where they can crash. Your escape pod seals tight, ejecting towards the planet in a completely different direction than the others. Gain 2 random skills and crash onto the matching location. So one more time, we're going to randomize some skills. I get another orange. So I'm really good at engaging this game and pretty good at looking. That's purple. And yellow is the take action. And then, okay, so I'm going to orange and purple. They're pretty small over here. Orange and purple. Here we go. 433 will be my starting location. It says keep this card in the holder to obscure the backs of your new location and future locations you visit. I don't have any other player to obscure locations from this game, and so I'm not going to do that. But so I'm just going to gain location 433. So put this away, 433. And from now on, I have this little card here. This is kind of a placeholder card, or it is a placeholder card. I'm going to put this in the box where I take location 433 from. And that way, whenever I return 433 to the box, I can just easily find that location, put it back, and gain the new location. So here is location 433. For the most part of this playthrough, I'm going to keep this over here, right there. So it'll be on camera, but a little bit smaller. But I will show it to you as we gain it. So this is what I'm looking at right now. This is my Vantage. And there is a little description. If I were playing with other players, I would share as much as I want with them about this location, except that I can't show it to them because they can't see through my eyes. They can hear me. We're in radio contact, but they can't see what I see because you've crash landed far across the planet. So location 433, it says a fishing boat is wedged into the sandy shore. If I were playing with other players, I might say it looks like I've crash landed on the beach of a tropical island. There are some, I see a little rowboat. I see some water to the east. And if I want to, I can tell them the different actions that I have available here, these different location actions. So I need to choose what I want to do at this location. I know that I can choose whatever I want. So the things that I can choose from, I can choose to do a location action. I can choose to depart from this action using movement. I can go in any cardinal direction, or I can take one of these actions that are on my character down here. So let's see, a fishing boat is wedged into the sandy shore. What do I want to do? It says steer, spy, hail, repair, hijack, or fish. So I know I'm pretty good at engaging that. So I can do whatever I want, but what I'm good at are these things. I have a few purple skills, the look skill. So let's put this location down. I'm going to choose to spy. I'm going to choose the spy action. Now in Vantage, I don't fully know what that means. I have to use my intuition to say, okay, I'm going to spy on something here. Maybe spy on these footprints leading away from the rowboat. I don't really know. But once you choose the action, this is the first step of an action. You are committed to it. I am starting to spy on this location. And so the first step, let's get the orange storybook. So here's the different action steps that you take. You choose an action. Now I'm going to read the cost and the result. So I have to intuit how hard I think it will be to spy on this. It doesn't seem that hard to do it. Hopefully it won't be that hard. But I will find out in a second. So let's go ahead and go to the look storybook. Here's the look storybook. And I'm going to look it up. And I'm actually going to show you this page of the storybook. So you're going to see this. I may not do this for every description, but I'll do it for this first one so you can get a feel for what I'm doing. So here we go. So here's the look storybook. I'm on 433. This is in region K. That doesn't matter for this particular action, but it says with a 2-cost action, I'm going to spy on the boat. So 2-cost, spy on the boat. So what I can do now in the action, if I want, is I can decrease the cost of that action by spending skills. And if there are other players at the table, they could also spend skills to help me decrease the cost of this action. They're giving me advice on how to spy better on this boat. 2 is not all that expensive, so I think I'm just going to keep that cost. So I'll move on to the next step, which is to roll 2 challenge dice. So I'll roll 2 challenge dice. So I rolled a health and a setback. So I didn't roll particularly well here. This means that while I was spying, I did something that caused me to potentially lose health, and also was kind of a setback, was an impediment towards accomplishing this goal. Now, the one thing about Vantage, I should have led off the action description with this. In Vantage, you always succeed at the action. You always know that you're going to succeed. It's just how difficult it ends up being and any health or morale or time that you spend while accomplishing that action. So right now, as it stands, I'm going to lose a health, and the setback means that this die is going to return to the challenge dice pool. I'm actually okay with that. So I'm going to have this setback go back to the challenge dice pool. It's too late to spend skills to decrease the cost. I've already done the action essentially. But I can mitigate this die if I want by re-rolling. So I'm going to spend one of these boosts. I have a boost ability here that says re-roll one of your challenge dice, and I can gain an engage skill if the result is unchanged. So if I happen to re-roll a health again, then I gain a little benefit, a little compensation for doing that. So let's roll that again. That's great. So I re-rolled into a blank. This is the die face that you want in the challenge dice. There's no penalty here. So I will then place any remaining dice, any dice that I have not placed on slots on the cards in my grid. I'll place that in the challenge dice penalty area, but there's no penalty for a blank. So That's great. Now I get to read the action results. So I've done all the way through steps from here. Suffer penalties from rolled but unplaced challenge dice. So if I had placed that health here, I would have lost a health. But I didn't do that. So I get to read the action results. So let's read the action results. So that's right here. Spy on the boat. The owner of the boat isn't far from here. So you could either catch their attention or try to slip away in the boat before they notice. Gain 1 boost. So whenever you gain boost from an action, it goes on your character by default. Gain 1 boost and then gain 1 move, 1 engage, or 1 take. You may continue. I'll explain what that means in a second. So I can gain 1 move. So these are skills. I can gain a move, an engage, or a take. And the reason we've spelled these out as words in the storybook is that we found it's easier just to read them out loud. On the character, we just put the icon. But because people are reading the storybook, we use the words for them. So this description has hinted at the benefits that I could gain from doing other things at this location. The owner of the boat isn't far from here, so you could either catch their attention or try to slip away in the boat before they notice. Okay, what do I want to do? I think I am pretty good at engaging. So I don't think I need more engage skill. I'm going to gain a move skill. I don't have any move skill, so I'll do that. And the last part of this, so I'll gain this move skill. That's another benefit. The last part of it is you may continue. So this matters more in a multiplayer game, but it still does have an impact on a solo game. The word continue, if it just said continue, it means that you must take another action right away. So rather than taking 1 action on my turn, I would need to take another action right away. Puts a little pressure on me. When it says you may continue, it is a choice. The one nice thing about continue, the word continue in this game, is that it means right now, if I choose to continue, that I could take another location action. Normally, after you take a location action, you cannot take the other location actions, these 6 actions. You cannot take another one of them. You've kind of decided how you're going to interact with this location. You can't do something else. Oftentimes, it would end up contradicting what you already did. But I just spied on the location, and so it says you could continue. So I think I'm going to say, okay, I will continue, and I will take another location action now that I have this information. And I know at this point in the video, what are we? We're 17 minutes in. I know I'm talking through stuff a lot. I haven't done that much. I am over talking it so that you can understand why I'm making these decisions. So hopefully this isn't too boring. Yeah, I'm just trying to give you a good idea for the types of things that you think about and to explain the rules as I'm playing a little bit. So I've already spied. I need to choose a different action. I'm going to try to hail. Presumably, I'm going to try to hail the owner of this little rowboat, and maybe they can give me a ride, or maybe I can take their boat. Maybe they'll let me take their boat. So I'm going to choose hail. I will pull out the orange storybook here. Here we go. And from now on, I'm going to read off camera a little bit so I don't spoil a bunch of stuff for you. But I will tell you what I'm reading, obviously. So 433. One nice thing about the storybook too is that in the upper right corners of the pages, you can see here, it has the location numbers up there. So 433, it says, hail a ride from the boat's captain. It's a 2-cost action. So notice I'm only reading the bold text and the cost. So hail a ride from the boat's captain. It is okay though, if I accidentally, playing solo, if I accidentally read a little bit of the description text, it isn't the end of the world because I've already committed to this action. I can't undo it anyway, regardless of what the result might be. So I'm going to, it's a 2-cost, hail a ride from the boat's captain. I am pretty good at engaging, not just the skills, but I actually have a skill slot for orange actions, engage actions. So I am not going to decrease this cost with skill tokens. I'm just going to roll 2 dice from the challenge dice pool. Another not so great roll. I am going to re-roll the health. The time I'm okay with. I'm going to re-roll the health. Okay, that's better. Okay, this is a good example, actually. So the time, this spot is blank. So I can place any type of die here as long as it's part of an engage action, which is what I'm taking right here. So I can put that time die there, and I gain a boost. It has an output of 1 boost. So I learned a little bit from dealing with that challenge of hailing took longer than normal. Also, I have a morale roll here. So I would lose morale if I don't place that, but I actually have an impact dice slot here where I can place morale dice. Impact means that I can help other players by taking their challenge dice when they roll and putting it on that slot. Again, I'm playing solo. I don't have other players. So I can put that right there. So I don't have any dice to place in the penalty area at all. The problem is I do have a bunch of challenge dice over here still, and I've used up all the slots of my character. So let's see what the result is. So hail a ride from the boat's captain. The captain offers you a ride. Choose one. If I pay $1, I can gain 1 boost. Oh, and actually, I don't get to read this yet. I'm sorry. There's some bold detail here. I'll show you what it looks like. You need to see this. So right here. So in some descriptions for actions, it has multiple options in bold. Again, I only get to read the bold, not the outcome. So I get to choose either to pay $1 or to not pay. So I have to choose that before looking into it further. So currently I have no money. However, there is a way to get money, and it's shown on my character right now, right here. I have an ability that says spend 2 boost to gain a coin. So spend 2 boost to gain a coin. Boost abilities you can use at any time. So I am going to do that. Why not? I don't love using both of my boosts to do this, but I'm going to spend these 2 boosts to gain a coin. It also says I could gain a move skill instead. You're moving a lot in this game, so move is really helpful. And again, I'm using all standard components. So I'm using the cardboard coins. I'm using the cardboard skill tokens. There are upgraded versions of these. So I'm going to put that little that coin right here. So I have a coin. I'm immediately going to spend it. I'm spending a coin. Put that over there. And it says, so if you pay $1 and you don't get to read what would have happened on the other option, gain 1 boost. So I get 1 of these boosts right away. And you may hitch a ride northeast to the Pearl of the Island on 733 or southeast. So northeast, so northeast over here, or southeast to Shipwreck Wreckage on 731. I am very curious about what the Pearl of the Island is. And so I'm going to choose to do that. And so that means my location will change to 733. So I will pick up this location, put it back here. I'm going to 733. This all feels so surreal. I've been so protective of showing people what is in this game, but you are seeing it right now in action. Hopefully you were ready for these spoilers. Well, I use spoiler. I need a different word for spoiler in this game because it's like your first experience of discovering this planet, exploring this world. It's not necessarily a spoiler. It's a whole planet for everyone to discover. So here's what we found here. 733 says a large spherical object emits a near blinding light. And I know from talking to this boat captain who just dropped me off here that this is called the Pearl of the Island. Again, on this location, in fact, I haven't done this yet, so I could choose to not do any of these actions over here, and I could just depart from this location, just move in one of these directions. But I came all the way out here to the Pearl of the Island. I want to do something. I can climb, search, ask, honor, extract, or target. So at this point, I filled up my character with dice. So I probably want to choose one of these actions that I can decrease the cost of using skill tokens. So I think what I want to do, search, ask. Do I want to ask or search? I think, so I have a feeling if I ask that I'm just like kind of asking someone who's around me that what's going on with this Pearl of the Island, which might be helpful. Why don't we do that? I'm good at talking to people. Go back to the Engage storybook. 733, ask. Okay, 733, ask a sentient about this area. So ask an intelligent person of this world about this area, and it's a cost of 2. Just to be safe, I'm going to decrease the cost down to 1. If I wanted, I could spend 2 skills to reduce the cost to 0 and not roll any challenge dice, but I'm not going to do that. So I had a little camera shift right there. There we go. And I roll 1 challenge die. Another morale. At this point, I could mitigate it by re-rolling it. I think, though, I'm just going to take the hit. So I'll place the morale here. I'll lose 1 morale. That's fine. I have plenty of space to lose it here. 733. Ask a sentient about this area. A leaf sentient whispers that this is the pearl. I'm sorry, I'm reading away from the microphone here. That this is the pearl. It appeared at the same time as the person you know as the traveler. Touching it will ignite the magic inside of you. Gain 1 boost and either 1 move or 1 look. You may continue. So another action, this is that I may continue if I want to. 1 boost and either, and actually this happens to be 2 actions where I'm gaining boost and then a skill. Often, sometimes when you like look around in this world, or when I ask someone something, I'm gaining. They're kind of hinting at what I should do next on this location. So this person, this person is saying that moving or looking might be a good idea. So this could lead into a climb action or a search action. I'm a little better at searching right now, or looking at things. So let's gain that. And it says you may continue, which I definitely want to do because I want to search. I want to go ahead and search this this location. So let's take a search action. 7. I'm doing a lot of orange and purple. I'll try to take some other action options here as well. 733. Let's see how hard it is. Search. It's only a 3 cost action. Not bad. So search for a path to the pearl. Search for a path to the pearl. Cost me 3. I think I will decrease it. It's not that bad. I might get a little lucky. I'll decrease it down to just 1 die, though. That was a skewed dice there, but I think that was coming up on health. I'll just take the health. It's fine. This is a playthrough just for fun. It's okay for me to take that. Okay, what do we do? 733. Search for a path to the pearl. You find a narrow staircase carved into the back of the boulder, and you ascend the steps to touch the pearl. When you do, your mind goes blank, save for 3 glowing symbols. Choose 1 and gain the corresponding spell. I'm either gaining life, spirit, or mind. These are all bolded words. I don't really know what I'm going to get, but it's a pretty short list here. Life, spirit, or mind. What kind of spell do I want? Life, spirit, or mind? And my mission, if I ever need guidance, I can look to my mission. This is the Liberate Your Homeworld mission. Life, spirit, mind. Let's go with life. I'll choose life here. Life is gain spell 1236. So I'm gaining a spell. Here we go. And as you look at cards in the box, you can see that 1236 is upside. The rest of the card is upside down from 1236. So when you have 1 player in charge of finding cards, they aren't really spoiling the cards. But also, it's okay for all players to see these cards once they enter play. Here is the spell that I just gained. It says, when placed, gain 1 boost on each card in this column. So I probably want to place this in the same column as my character. Let's place it right here. You can have up to 9 cards in your grid. So I'll place it below my character, and I gain a boost on each card in the column. So I gain 1 on this spell and 1 on my character. I have 6 slots for dice for boost on my character, 3 slots for boost on this spell. And the spell looks like I can place, it has an impact challenge dice slot for health, which is good. In fact, that's very good. And it has a boost ability that says reroll any unplaced health results. So that could, and that's also this is a great spell. This is actually a really, really good spell. I very much like that I have this. Awesome. All right. Well, that ends that action. I cannot take another location action here. And so because it doesn't say continue, I can't do that anymore. So on my next turn, I need to move. So that's good. Or I don't need to. I could take an action on my character here, but I'm not going to do that. I want to depart from this island. Let's go north. Let's see what's beyond this. So I'm going to choose north. So if I chose east or west, they show where I would move to. I still have to take a move action, the cost being 1, but I'm going to move north. So I don't know the cost of it. I have to see, okay, well, it looks like I'm going through some water, some jungle. It might be a slightly difficult move action here, but that's okay. Okay, so I look at 733 in the Depart storybook. Here we go. Here's the Depart storybook. It has the same icon here. So Depart from 733 going north. So I'm looking at north for 733. All right, 733 north. It reads, cost of 3, trailblaze north toward the desert. So 3 cost action to trailblaze north. Was it towards the desert? Yeah. So cost of 3. Let's decrease that cost to 2. All right. Well, the blank is fine. I'll put the blank here. The time isn't great. I could re-roll it. In fact, I will roll. So in this game, there are actions that let you gain health and morale, but time is always moving forward. It's really difficult to gain back time, if not impossible. So I'm going to use a boost to re-roll this. And I'll gain a morale, which actually isn't all that great either, but that's okay. I will lose 1 morale because I can't place that die on any side. I was kind of hoping to roll a health, but I didn't roll a health. And I should note here, I do have a boost on this spell. If I had no boost here, and I could not use this boost ability, you can only spend a boost from use boost abilities using boost on that card. So I can't spend boost from the character for this card. All right, so I'm moving north, trailblazing north towards the desert. The humidity in the jungle has you sweating buckets as you head north. Go to 734. So I'm going to 734. Let's see if that's in the back. It's not on the back here, so I will put this back and go. Actually, this is great. This is actually quite the coincidence. So I have been using a sample location that is kind of a version of this location. Yeah, this is a huge. I promise this was not staged. The sample location I've been using is very, very similar to this one, but as you can tell, it is a little bit different. Cool. Okay, so this is location 734. It says the air crackles with energy from a rift above the gully. All right, so I have this rift cut into space essentially with enter, inspect, shout, heal, extract, or destroy. So what do I want to do here? Enter, inspect. I'm a little hesitant to enter that. Inspect, shout, heal, extract. So I don't want to heal the rift. Extract, destroy. I'm going to try to extract. I'm going to try to maybe reach into the rift and take something out of it. Maybe you don't really know until you try it in this game. So I'm going to try to extract from the rift, which is on 734. So I take out the take storybook and look at 734. All right, 734 take. Okay, it's a 4-cost extract action. Extract something from inside the rift. Cost me 4. I'm definitely going to use this skill to decrease it to 3. Actually, here's a strategic choice. I have 3 dice left over here. If at any time you need to roll more dice than are in the challenge dice pool, you get to refresh all of the dice. So I think refreshing might actually be more useful than just rolling the 3 dice. So instead of spending the skill, I'm going to refresh all of these dice, including the dice that are on cards, back to the challenge dice pool, and then I'm going to roll 4 dice. We'll see if that works out. It did not work out well, but we get to see a few different things here. So this is a yellow action, a take action. I can't put a die here. I can put a health right here and get another boost on my spell. I can put a morale here. I can go over here. And this morale, I could re-roll it, but again, we're just doing this for fun. I'm probably only going to play for another 10 more minutes. So I'm going to put this right here and lose a morale. Let's see what I got from extracting out of this rift. 734. Extract something from inside the rift. You reach into the rift and grab blindly at anything you can remove. Your fingers grasp something wet and slimy, and you find yourself holding a giant piece of seaweed from the past. Gain Flora 1061. So this is Flora 1061. Here is what I got. Something called blood kelp. Has some new actions that I can show you. It's a high value card. It's worth $8. And it has a consume action on it. It has an action I can perform on it. I can brew with this. Ooh, this has a lot going on. And it over here, it shows the type of card it is. This is shown on the back of the book. This is a leaf card. And up here, it has another icon for water. So if I were interacting with something watery, then I could place a die there. So where do we want to put this blood kelp? Let's put it, just for visibility, I'll put it right here next to my character. Generally, it doesn't matter where you put the cards in your grid, unless you have a card like the spell that said gain 1 boost on each card in this column. All right, so I reached into this rift and I pulled out a blood kelp. All right, so I could depart from this location. I could also, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what an action looks like. So there are 2 different actions I could take using this blood kelp. I could either brew it. So if I chose to brew it, this is a 3 cost. So sometimes on the cards, you know the exact cost of the action. In this case, it is a 3 cost help action, green action called brew. And it even tells me the result. I know everything about this action right here. So it says that I would gain a card and I would replacing this card. So I would get rid of this card once I brew it, unless I paid a boost from this card. I have no boost from this card, so I would lose it if I did that. Or I can consume it. And I think I want to do that. I want to take a little bite of this blood kelp and see what happens. I can say in full honesty, this world is so big, even though I have designed every aspect of this world, it is so big that I don't remember what happens when I consume a blood kelp. There are just too many actions in this game. So I'm going to find out right now in real time with you what happens when I do this. So we're back to the Take Story book. I'm going to look up card 1061 in the Take Story book. 1061. Okay. Here we go. On one page off, 1061. It says, oh, it's only a 1 cost action. That's nice. 1 cost. Consume a tiny taste of the flora. So it only costs me 1. I can do that. I'll roll 1 challenge die. Here's a setback. Setback, just if I could place it if I wanted to. I don't have a place to put it. But setbacks, instead of going to the challenge area, they bounce back to the challenge pool if you don't place them. So setback goes over there. All right, let's see what happens. Consume a tiny taste of the flora. The kelp tastes strongly of blood. You fight through the flavor, hoping that you don't develop vampiric tendencies. You may continue. If you do, gain 1 health and 1 overpower. Otherwise, and I get to read this whole thing, otherwise, gain 1 boost on this floor as a result of your deepened understanding of its nutritional properties. So if you continue, so in this case, it would mean just take another action. So you gain 1 health and 1 overpower, or gain a boost on the floor. Both of these are good options. I think I'll gain an overpower. Here's an overpower token, and a health. I'll gain a health back. So that's one of the ways you can gain health back. A card gave me that benefit. So I now know that by consuming blood kelp, I can, if I choose to continue after doing so, I can recover health. I know this is a plant that helps me recover health and gain overpower tokens. So I could take this action multiple times if I wanted to. Always risking that I'm going to roll something on a die that I don't want to roll, but that is a fair risk to take on the blood kelp. Yeah, sounds good. what else to do here? So I've already taken a location action here. So it's probably time for me to move away. And let's move away. Which way do I want to go? So it's easy for me to move to 740 if I want to do that. Sure, let's do that. Let's move to 740. So if you see the number printed here, then it is, although it is mysterious over here to look at that passage. So if I were to take 740, again, it's a 1 cost move action. But I am really curious about what is over here. I want to cross this little drawbridge and go to the west. So I'm going to say 734. I'm going to depart from it and go west. I'm going to take maybe 1 or 2 more turns, and then we'll call it here 734. Hopefully this is giving you a better idea of how to play than the earlier playthrough. 734, I'm going west. Okay, 734. It's a 4 cost action. Balance west across the rickety bridge. 4 cost move action. All right. So I could, before the action, I have 2 boosts here. I could spend 2 boosts to gain a move skill to then decrease the cost of this action by 1. I'm just going to go for it, though. It's 4. Hopefully I'll roll okay. I wish I kind of had a dice tray right here. Okay, these are good. That's really good. 2 blanks, a time, and a morale. I might just have to eat the time and the morale. Ooh, my morale is getting really, really low. I'm okay with the time. So I'm going to put the time there. The morale, I'm going to re-roll. So I'm going to spend a boost to re-roll the morale. Hopefully get something better. I did roll a heart off camera there. I have a little bit more health, so that's fine. I'll lose a health because I wasn't able to place that die. Okay. We moved west on 734. Balance west across the rickety bridge. The bridge leads into a dark passage through the pillar of stone. Roll 4 skill dice and gain all look results. And then something else happens. Let's do this first. Roll 4 skill dice, gain all. Ooh, I did not roll any look results. That's the purple icon. Fortunately, I have a look here because it then says, if you pay 1 look, you find something in the darkness. Gain item 1263. Then go west to 435. So I do have a look. So the action gave me a chance to gain a look in case I didn't have one. But I already had one, even though I didn't roll it. So I'm going to spend this look to gain item 1236. Let's see what that is. It's an item. I'm sorry, 1263. Is that right? Yes, 1263. Here's what I got. I got a map. Got the map of Flora. And it shows a map of the world with a bunch of pins in it. I don't know where I am in this world because I crash landed here, but I might be able to start to figure it out based on what I've moved through. I moved through some water. I have a desert up north. It has an action up here. This is a place where I can place a setback die whenever I take a move action. And over here, this is a place where if I take a navigate action, I can place a die there. And it also says, oh, this is cool. I can spend a boost to view page 20 of the Book of Vantages until the end of this turn. When placed, gain 1 boost per adjacent card. So I'm going to put this right down here. I have 2 adjacent cards, and so I get to gain 2 boosts on this map for each of those adjacent cards. Again, so sometimes where you place these cards matters. Again, I'm building a 3x3 grid of cards around my character. So I have these other slots where I can place cards. I'm moving here, go west to 435. 435. All right, 435. Here we go. Okay, here I am. This is actually a great final example to end up on because there's a couple different things happening here. Hopefully you can see it on camera. So there's a little character right here. This is the Traveler. So this is something you don't really know much about the Traveler, except that we received a mysterious signal from the Traveler inviting us to this planet. And I know that on the back of the rule book, there's this thing right here. It says your Vantage right there. Your Vantage. Only you can view your current location. It has 2 icons here. So this is a reference guide that you see from the very start of the game. This icon means mandatory upon arrival. You have to do that whenever you arrive at a location that has that icon. This one says speech for the traveler. So the traveler is talking to me, saying, this passage was designed to discourage those who are ill-prepared for the tricks of time and mirages of sand that await them to the east. I just came from the east. I know a little bit about what's over there. Perhaps linger here near this rune instead. So there's a little rune on this location. I can balance, I can focus, consult, assemble, swindle, or cleave. Different ways to interact, presumably with this bridge that I just crossed to get to this location. I'm debating here if I should take one more turn or leave it at that. You know, I'm going to leave it at that for now. I might do some more of these playthroughs, but I'm going to leave it at that. Leave you guessing as to what I might do on this location. You can let me know. And why don't you let me know in the comments what you would do at this location now that you've already come through this passage. You've come through here. You've made it all the way over here east. This is what you see at this location. And these are the options that you have. And again, at every location, I don't have to do anything at the location. There's no requirement requiring me to do this. I have the freedom to just walk away or move away. I can depart from this location right away or take an action down here on my cards. I could consume some more blood kelp if I wanted to. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. All right. This was a lot of fun. I didn't know how to feel about doing this, about revealing some spoilers, a little bit about what this world is all about. But hopefully you only watch this video if you were up for some minor spoilers about what it's like to explore this planet that I have created, that we've created for you to play with in Vantage. As you can see, it is a massive place to explore. It's a sandbox of things that you can do. And even after you see a location, you don't know what else would have happened if you had interacted with that location in a different way. Yeah, I think that's it for today. I'll figure out when I'm going to post this. Maybe I'll post this today. Maybe I'll post it in a month from now or 2 months. I will see. But feel free to ask me any questions you have in the comments below about what just happened. Yeah, I think I've covered most of what I could do to explain how this game works in this video too. I did talk about how right here that I'm trying to accomplish this mission, but you can see that even as playing this game, I am distracted by all these other things that I want to do away from this mission. The ways that you can win the game are by completing a mission, by completing a destiny. So I crash landed on this planet. This is kind of like, how do I want my story to end? What is the end of my story with this destiny? How do I want things to end up now that I've crashed on this planet? My final destination in a way. Or it is also perfectly viable to decide, this is what's important to me in this game. I'm going to pursue that and see if I can do it before I run out of morale or health or time. In this mission, I was just kind of wandering around and exploring, and I had a good time doing that too. So yeah, anyway, let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. I'm happy to answer them. Thanks.